Hi, folks. This is Lee with the Market Sense for the week of November 17th, 2020. The charts in this presentation are provided to us by Gettess and come from their Trade Navigator software. And looking at a weekly bond market chart here, we are seeing a little bit of strength. I'm not convinced that this is enough strength to get back and close over this 172.20 area, but they're showing some signs of strength, and that could possibly lead them all the way up to 174.27 here. The support we were looking for was around 170.18, and they've basically stayed well above that so far. So possible that we are seeing legitimate strength here. And as I've been saying, the weakness here is a little misplaced, I think. I can't see the Fed letting interest rates go. So can they really go down? Well, yeah, they can, because the markets can do whatever they want. But I just think going back up here kind of makes some sense. This big sideways pattern isn't going to end immediately, I don't believe. And so back up makes some sense here. Now in stocks, we have an interesting situation, interesting to fools like me who analyze them so heavily. Last week had a big gap up Sunday night into Monday morning and then basically never got to that level the rest of the week. That was on news of a vaccine. We got the same thing again Sunday night, Monday morning. It's a different company, Moderna now, but still the same thing. This high price that we've seen here was actually Sunday night into Monday morning, and they haven't been back there Monday or Tuesday. So it's possible that they could give up a little more movement here, a little more strength. Coming into the week, we were looking at resistance at 36.65, which they haven't been to. And support is all the way down here at 34.42. Now this upper moving average here at 35.45, it really shouldn't mean anything this week. It doesn't really come into play based on typical analysis. But the range is, 220 some points between the support and resistance is pretty substantial. So it wouldn't be terribly surprising to see them not trade either of those and just stay between. But again, very, very symmetrical to last week. The high made Sunday night, Monday morning, and then never reached again. Man, they're kind of looking like they're doing that again this week. Now, all they got to do is make new highs, and that'll be all over and done with. But that's actually a little concerning, but also not surprising. There is a tendency for markets to react positively after an election and then kind of get really quiet for the rest of the year. That's just sort of the pattern that election years tend to make. So maybe that's what's happening here. But again, 36.65 resistance, 34.42 support, that's a long ways away. Looking at the QQQs for the Nasdaq, little different situation. They're a little bit weaker, and they're possibly, and I emphasize possibly, using this 293.28 area as resistance. Now, the best resistance is actually almost to 300 here. It's like 299.84. That's really the best resistance, but if they hold this resistance, then the support at 283.27 is a little shaky. Not saying they can't hold it, because they certainly can, and in fact, an inside bar would make perfect sense here. But we can't rule out seeing them all the way down to the 271.55 area, down to this support here. There's not a lot of economic news this week. After the last couple weeks, it's a little quiet here. So I kind of don't expect the major movement. And again, I would say that an inside bar may be the most likely thing we see this week. But the big key will be, will they hold this 293.28 as resistance? If that's the case, then, they're not very exciting. If they get going higher, well, that resistance is pretty good, but if they bust it, we're looking at new highs, and all bets are off at that point. So that's what we've got for you today. I hope you can find something profitable to get yourself into. Thanks